On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And we are here and we're ready to party.
Oh my God, we are. We have been cooking up a storm.
Oh, literally and figuratively.
Ooh.
We, on Patreon for today, we made funeral potatoes.
We did, and they were so delicious.
Ooh, I can't wait to get back down to the kitchen and
finish
them off. We were like, yeah, we're just going to pick at it. And then
It's almost gone.
It's almost gone. Okay, we can't control ourselves. What can we say?
2 sticks of butter, sour cream. I mean, oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, you can't go wrong.
I took a bite and was like, this is comfort food.
Uh-huh. The best. The most comforting food. I see why they're so popular amongst funeral attendees.
It should be every occasion.
Uh-huh. So if you want to watch a video of us being idiots making funeral potatoes, you know where to go. Go to our Patreon.
Oh yeah, baby. And if you want to see us in person, live, we've got a show in LA.
Hey.
Go to obituarypodcast.com for tickets or to dynastytypewriter.com for tickets.
Yes, we cannot wait to see you there. Tickets are selling like hotcakes, baby.
They're selling like funeral potatoes.
Uh-huh. So eat it up like it's your last meal. Mm-hmm. Madison, I gotta tell you.
What?
The night I had last night was beyond anything I could tell you. So, first of all, are you familiar with mockingbirds?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't.
Okay. I mean, I'm familiar as far as like, I know their type of bird.
Okay, they can emulate 50 different types of noises. Probably more than that.
They mock.
Yeah.
Oh.
They mock. And I was getting mocked last night.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm laying in bed with Hot Dog. I fall asleep around 11-ish. I wake up at 1 a.m. to the craziest noise. I thought a car alarm was going off, and then I realized it was birds.
Oh, no.
Madison, I was furious. I was mad because they were so loud. I'm Googling, like, what is this? What's going on? And so I open up the window to my bedroom. I open up one of the windows that faces a tree outside of my house. I am holding a stick in my underwear. You know, I sleep and just...
Where'd you get the stick?
It was in the closet in the office. It's like to keep a window closed. It was from my old house. I don't know why I had it, but I brought it with me. And I shook it. I took the screen off my window. I was hitting the tree with it in my underwear. Just like, God damn it. What the fuck is going on? And then,
like a little old lady.
Uh-huh. And then next thing you know, I like try and go back to bed. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to fall asleep. I'll be able to do it. Could not do it. They were so fucking loud. So I'm looking up like, what do you do? And it's like, okay, they're scared of owls. So I'm downloading owl noises onto my phone. And I
should have called me. I was still up.
I am just hanging outside my window, holding my phone out. And it's going like, and like my neighbors are probably fucking hearing these birds. They're probably looking at me like standing there, like playing this. And Hot Dog jumps up.
No,
and she was
out the window.
No, she was dead asleep, and she hops up from bed like and looks at me like, "What are you doing?"
No,
because I'm hanging out of the window playing
He's
these. Finally
lost it.
It's that 1 a.m. It was intense and insane.
I know the pain because you know that I stay up so late. And there have been times where I stay up till 6 a.m.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the birds are outside chirping, not a mockingbird, but just like regular morning birds, you know? I remember at those times trying to fall asleep and I couldn't because it's so loud.
So loud. I was like I need a fucking slingshot.
Well, wait, so why are they doing it? Is it...
They want a mate. And so...
See? You still got it, honey.
This still after me, okay? You're calling. I'm not interested, Mr. Mockingbird, all right? So pack it up. The last time I felt that pure rage while I was asleep was when you and I tried to share a room, a hotel room together, and I was like, I can't fall asleep. I'm going to pull my fucking hair out.
Yeah, especially if you're already in like a deep sleep.
Uh-huh.
And then get woken up.
Oh my God. It was infuriating. So I pulled a U. I had my big Beats headphones and I put them over my ears. And I was playing like fan noises in my ear because I was like, I need to drown out this noise. I fell asleep.
Okay.
And I slept through the night. But in even bigger news, actual obituary news, we have to talk about this article that has been being sent to us by everyone we know. You already know.
Yes.
We haven't even talked about it with each other yet.
No, we know now. There's certain things we need to save for the office on Thursdays.
Yes. Okay, so I have an article from CNN about a woman presumed dead who was found alive in her coffin at her wake in Ecuador.
Oh my God. Can you read me the article? Because I didn't even dive deep into it because I knew that we would talk about it.
Well, honey, that's why I have the article here, and I've got pictures, I've got videos, I've got everything to show you.
Okay.
So it says, quote, a 76-year-old woman who was declared dead at a hospital in Ecuador was found to be alive and knocking on her coffin during her own wake in the city of Babahoyo. Quote, I lifted up the coffin and her heart was pounding and her left hand was hitting the coffin. We called 911 to bring her here to the hospital, her son Gilberto Barbera said in a video posted on social media. In the video, people could be seen waiting and supporting Montoya as emergency services arrived at the scene, taking the 76-year-old woman back to the hospital. A state investigation is now underway, according to the Ministry of Public Health. It says the woman had been admitted Friday to the hospital with a possible stroke and cardiopulmonary arrest, and after she didn't respond to resuscitation protocol, a doctor on duty declared her dead. Which, by the way, reminds me, at one of our live shows, we were talking to a nurse, and or maybe it was a doctor. And remember, we were like talking, it was in a meet and greet about the crazy ways people used to revive people. Somehow that came up, and she's like, oh, they'll still like do a titty twister sometimes.
They'll still twist your nipples.
Uh-huh. Well, the video that they have of this woman shows her hospital tags and then her son, who's shown pleading for an ambulance to arrive, which is really at the root of it, it's as crazy as the story is, it's fucking sad to picture.
Sad, it's scary.
The woman's full name is widely reported to be Bella Yolanda Montoya Castro, corresponding to the initials BYMC, used in Ecuador's health ministry statement that was issued on Sunday. It said Montoya was in intensive care at the Martin Icaza Hospital in Babahoyo, the same facility that initially declared her dead. Her current condition is unknown. I'd be like, she's not going back to that hospital.
Fuck no.
The ministry went on to say that in coordination with the Health Services Quality Assurance Agency, a national technical committee was formed to initiate a medical audit to establish responsibilities for the alleged confirmed death.
How soon was the funeral after, the wake after?
She had been admitted to the hospital on Friday, and then I think that this happened on Sunday.
Oh, fuck.
Can you believe that?
The trauma?
Oh my God.
I would go straight to cremation after that. I'd be like, nope.
Oh, literally would scare me to death. I'd be like, I'm not getting up again. Okay.
Wow.
Terrifying.
Such an incredible story. Incredible, not in like the great way. Like, just it's incredible.
Doesn't happen a lot.
No. I'm interested to see what a different doctor diagnoses her with. Maybe she didn't even have a stroke. Maybe she's had some underlying condition. Who knows?
Oh, we've heard it all on here, so I'm interested to see how that progresses. And of course, we will keep you guys updated, but we also know you'll keep us updated too. That's the one thing I hate about how we record everything kind of like a week early.
I know, because I feel like we're late when it comes out. I know.
But who knows what'll happen by the next time we sit down, so.
Oh my God. Well, I have a listener email that gets into some medical stuff, and I think it kind of goes along.
Oh, perfect. Let's hear it.
Okay, it says, "Hey girlies, bear with me. This is going to be a long email, but I have been meaning to write in for a while. First, I'm a huge fan of the show. Your laughs are contagious and your unhinged energy is so relatable. I truly feel like I am on FaceTime with you guys every Thursday." I love that. Here's a little bit about me. I'm 24 years old, live in Atlanta, and I'm a registered nurse who specializes in neuroscience. Essentially, I take care of patients who have been hospitalized with brain tumors, strokes, and any kind of neurological disorders. Your episode on brain death, CPR, and what happens to the body when you die hit close to home since I see all things on a daily basis at work. I've held hospice patients while they died with no family. I have been a part of many honor walks where patients are taken to donate organs once they've been pronounced brain dead, and I've had one too many rectal tube malfunctions. Oh
my
fuck.
God.
Working in the healthcare industry is about as unhinged as it gets. For example, I have put someone in a body bag and then immediately went to eat a Hot Pocket on my lunch break. My point is, healthcare workers see and do it all. Weird, dark, sad, and gory. Because of this, we have to cope somehow, most of the time with dark humor. Let me preface this by saying we never say things in front of patients or their family members, but here are some of the funniest medical acronyms and phrases that healthcare workers use and what they mean. Enjoy. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of these and I want you to tell me what you think they mean.
Okay.
Okay, so she wrote in, I don't know if you say it PBABS or PBABS. If a healthcare worker says PBABS.
PBABS?
Mm-hmm.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally out of
Yes, PEMDAS, honey. That's a math class. PBABS means pine box at bedside.
Oh, shit.
If someone has died or in near death, we might need a PBABS. Second one is DCTJC. This one's crazy. DCTJC. Discharge to Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
Not the good kind of discharge home from the hospital.
Oh, my God. There's never a good discharge. Just kidding. There is, I guess, if you're going home from the hospital.
Well, I think some is normal. Okay, CTD.
Cats talking down to you.
It actually is circling the drain.
Oh, no, like it's headed down, honey.
They said if someone is near death or we have a patient who is declining quickly.
I wonder if this is like across the board.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
ECU.
Education connection. But remember that commercial?
University. Yeah. Education Connect. ECU stands for Eternal Care Unit. Damn, I transferred my patient to the ECU.
Oh, shit.
And then two more. Dirt nap, which is
I get it.
self-explanatory. And you know what? Some more discharge for you. Celestial discharge.
Oh.
They said also self-explanatory. Honey, you're going to have to explain that. I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to have to spell that one out for us. Okay, sweetheart.
Okay. Is it discharge coming from your celestial organ? Or is it
Okay, honey. My celestial is in orbit right now.
Yeah, okay.
No, well, celestial, I think of Celestial Seasonings, which is a tea brand. And I picture a moon on it. So maybe it has to do with like the galaxy. Like they're out into the
like they
universe.
launched them into space?
Yep. That's the one.
That's the one. Then they say there's plenty of others. So if you guys want to hear more, let me know. Please. We love this.
This should be a game.
This should be. I have so much info on brain death, harvesting organs, the process of dying, CPR, etc. But I will save that for another time if you guys are interested. I love you guys so much. Never stop being you. Sincerely, a forever G-off, Molly. Feel free to say my name. Well, thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Molly. That was actually really interesting to learn about.
Yes, PBABS, honey. Little pine box at the bedside.
Oh my God. That's going to be like our new, like next time you call me and I'm going through it, I'm going to be like, PBABS.
PBABS, okay. Get the pine box
Get the
ready.
pine box. That should be like a new thing for when people say like, oh my God, I'm dead.
Yeah.
PBABS.
I don't know if it's PBABS, but I feel like I'm sure they'd say like
No, we're
PBABS.
saying PBABS, honey.
P. Babs.
God, incredible. I love it.
I love an abbreviation. How about some AITAs?
A little am I the asshole segment? Well, Madison, I think we should because I've got 2 today.
Two?
2.
Wow.
Uh-huh. The first one says, am I the asshole for refusing to let my bridesmaid wear her dead mother's favorite color to my wedding?
Okay.
I, 31, female, was married to my amazing husband, 34, male, on Friday. The wedding went smoothly, apart from one guest's dress preference, who we'll call Anna. Anna's mother sadly passed away in January this year. Her mother was the light of her life, and ever since she passed, Anna has been understandably uptight and distant. I've helped Anna throughout her entire grieving time. We had been planning this wedding since December and decided we wanted an ocean-themed wedding. My family and I grew up on the seaside, and we have always been close to the ocean. I made it extremely clear to all of my bridesmaids that they were to wear blue, a coral pinky color, or pastel green. Everyone agreed and seemed to love my choices. Anna's mother always loved the color dark, vibrant purple. Ever since then, Anna would buy everything purple if there was a purple choice. Anna and me went to lunch a few weeks after the passing to catch up and support her, and at the lunch, Anna asked me if she could please wear a purple dress to my wedding. I'm not crazy about themes usually, but since this wedding was themed to support my family's tradition, and considering my maid of honor was already going to be wearing a gorgeous pastel blue dress with purple and gold accents, me and my husband, who I decided to call and discuss the idea with, politely told her that we understand what she's going through, but we really want the bridesmaids on theme. To this, she looked hurt and left lunch earlier than expected. I hardly heard from Anna until around 4 weeks after our lunch, despite my attempts at texting, phoning, and even knocking on her door, but she'd continue to shut me off. That was until she texted me, "What do you think of these dresses?" and displayed many different purple dresses and photos. I kindly reminded Anna that she wouldn't be wearing a purple dress to my wedding. Anna was enraged. I tried to tell her that I understand her feelings, but my wedding is my own special day, and so she blocked me. Anna unblocked me 2 days later, apologizing for the way she acted. Well, when the wedding rolled around, Anna showed up in a purple dress.
What?
I asked her why she had gone against my wishes and that she either had to change or leave, and to this she told me to stop creating a scene and that I was being dramatic and disrespectful. Anna broke out in a screaming match and called me and my family insensitive, selfish bastards. She was escorted out of the door screaming, and once the wedding had ended, I received messages from Anna's family, friends, and even Anna. They were all saying that Anna was going through a lot and I was being an asshole. So am I the asshole for not just letting Anna wear the damn purple dress?
No.
No, you're not an asshole whatsoever. I've been on both, not this situation, but I've been on both sides of it. It's not about you. I mean, even though you're grieving, everyone has their own shit they're dealing with.
Yeah.
You never know, and that's something that I always try and give people grace with when they're assholes. I'm like, man, they could be fucking going through something.
Of course, but it does sound like this girl and her future husband or now husband gave her grace and were sympathetic.
Yeah, and they were like, it's just this one day. Can you just wear one of the 3 color choices that you have?
Yes. And if you're a bridesmaid, I'm sorry. Even if you don't like it, even if you don't like the dress or the color, you gotta kind of suck it up. And it's just a couple hours.
90% of the people I know that are in weddings have gotten a dress to be part of a wedding party that they would never wear in a million years. You just kind of do it.
I know.
It's one thing if you're someone has one specific dress and it does not,
look
you
good.
feel so uncomfortable. And
Right.
then it's okay, I don't know. But again, you're right. It is for a couple hours. Fucking suck it up. Or be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable then.
Totally. And that's okay. And it seems like these people would have preferred that.
Yeah, I know a lot of brides too who have run into difficulties, not that same scenario, but similar scenarios that are I wish she just would be I don't want to be in the wedding. 'Cause it's easier sometimes.
I felt like personally I was not a bridezilla.
Not at all.
With my bridesmaids, I was wear a black dress, make sure it's long. You wear whatever you want, do your makeup however you want, your hair however you want, whatever. But
if someone showed up in a fucking yellow dress,
I would be like, no, what the fuck?
No, I think it's ironic that Anna is calling the bride disrespectful when it's you're the one that's actually being disrespectful.
Right.
Because as hard as it may be and as much as she may be grieving, doesn't make you any more important than anybody else, especially
Right.
at their own wedding. And I did see someone in the comments, I wish I would have saved it, but they said something like, why couldn't she have worn a piece of jewelry
I
or
was
like an
just thinking
accessory that
or
was like
paint
the
your
purple?
nails that purple or something.
Yes, like do something else to celebrate your mom, but this isn't your mom's wedding. This isn't your wedding.
Right.
This is somebody else's special day. And yeah, I agree. Not the asshole.
And the mom probably would have been mortified if she was acting like that.
Who knows? Well, the second one, speaking of moms, says, would I be the asshole if I didn't go to my mom's funeral?
Ooh, okay.
My 20-year-old female mom died last week. The funeral will be next Friday, and I don't want to go. It's not because I'm grieving, but because I don't want to spend time and money to travel to another city and effectively waste time I have to study for my end of semester exams coming up next month. I didn't have a close relationship with my mom. She was an addict and a terrible mom. When I was 7, I was taken away by CPS and placed with my dad full time. When I was 10, she showed up on our doorstep in the middle of the night, screaming her lungs out how I was taken away from her unfairly and how my dad was a piece of shit for lying to the court to have me taken away. I didn't hear from her for about 5 years afterwards. Since I was 16, we've had sporadic contact that boiled down to 1 or 2 texts a month, which mostly ended with her asking for money or telling me I should come and live with her again. As bad as this makes me sound, I don't miss her and I don't think I ever will. Now that the funeral is coming up, I've been asked by my grandma when I'd be coming and if I'd be helping with preparations. I told her I wouldn't be coming as I had no time to spend on the funeral of somebody who treated me terribly. She didn't take it well, calling me selfish and ungrateful for disrespecting my mom by putting university above saying my goodbyes. I understand that she's grieving her daughter, but at the same time, I don't want to be there and I feel like she should accept that. My dad is on my side, but a few of my cousins from my mom's side have messaged me what a shitty person I am for treating my mom and my grandma this way. My relationship with my grandma was generally a good one, but she hasn't responded to any of my calls since our argument. Should I just suck it up and go? Maybe I could just come for church stuff and then leave afterwards so I wouldn't lose the whole weekend. I still don't want to go though.
I don't think you're an asshole. I think you're a hurt 20-year-old person.
Yeah, we say it all the time. Funerals are for the living. And if you did have a good relationship with your mom's mom, it's like, part of me does feel like I would feel personally some obligation to show up for them.
Yeah.
It's also, it sounds like this person's mom, I mean, they were an addict. That's an illness. They were sick and clearly created a lot of trauma for this person. So I don't blame them for not wanting to go.
She probably feels like my mom didn't show up for me.
Why should I show up for her? I say not the asshole, but again, it's all in it's how you handle it because we don't know the inner workings of the relation. I'm like, well, how close was she with the grandma? How close is she with the mom's side of the family? Should she be showing up for them or
right?
Because to me, using school and university, I mean, I know that's
an
very busy.
That's
an
a defense.
Excuse. It is.
Yeah, that's a defense. The only thing is, like, for her own sanity later, will she regret it?
I wonder that all the time, and I'll fucking tell you this. I feel so lucky that I had the relationship that I had with my mom when she passed away because I know other people that have had really hard relationships with certain family members, and when they pass away, oof, that's a different kind of grief that you deal with later on. So, not an asshole, but
sad.
Sad. A very sad situation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm up first this week.
Yes, you are.
That means you should have a little side bitch for us. You got one?
I sure do. And I found this side bitch and decided to read it because of what we were planning to do today, which was make the funeral potatoes.
Love it.
So it's food themed.
Okay.
Okay, so this pastor wrote an obituary for a dinner that the church would hold, and it went on for 70 years, and then they had to put a stop to it. And so he wrote a full obituary. It's published in the paper.
I love it.
All of it, okay? So it says, Faith Lutheran Scandinavian Dinner, 1947 to 2017, age 70.
Oh, rest in peace.
Faith Lutheran Scandinavian Dinner, also known as Lutefisk Dinner or Holy Tuesday, has peacefully died at the age of 70. It was preceded in death by numerous cousins. Many other churches have had to make this decision over the years. It's survived by a few remaining siblings that are going strong in our neck of the woods. The Scandinavian dinner will be remembered for all of the familiar faces that reunited each year over a wonderful meal of lutefisk, meatballs, potatoes, bread, cranberries, and coleslaw, and butter or cream, lots of butter. The meal had a great sense of humor, including jokes like the piece of cod which far surpasses all our human understanding. The meal was hosted by a group known as Men of Faith, but it was only able to function thanks to the work of around 150 male and female volunteers to make it happen each year. About 500 people would be served on Holy Tuesday, the second Tuesday of December. When Walleye Wayne Knutson died last spring, the dinner lost one of its biggest fans. Walleye would buy all the leftover lutefisk. Knutson's daughter, Sandy, was one of the key leaders in hosting the meal and preparing the food. Ultimately, it was the aging of the volunteers that helped contribute to the decision to finally pull the plug on the 70-year tradition. We gathered earlier this fall. The process begins with a head count. Who is still able to stand to help in the kitchen? Who is no longer able to drive and will need a ride or isn't able to come? Who's in a nursing home and isn't able to help as they have in the past? Who has passed away in the last year? Who has moved south away from the cold already? There's a theme here. The average age of the most recent core group of volunteer chairpersons is approximately 75 years old. Not only is nobody getting any younger, but it has become more and more difficult to find volunteers that would have an impact on lowering that average age significantly. This Holy Tuesday, December 4th, will be one of the saddest, but also a reminder of hope for the future. As one tradition dies, Faith Lutheran continues to host community and faith formation events that have more interest and appeal for younger generations. At the same time, there's a renewed energy around fellowship-based events for seniors, especially those who will miss dinner. In lieu of a memorial service for the Scandinavian dinner, organizers hope you will consider joining for a celebration of life through 2 turkey bingo events. So sad.
Oh my God, rest in
Sad
peace.
dinner.
Oh my God, I've never heard of an obituary for a food before.
Hey, there you have it.
You learn something new every day. Well, speaking of, I'm hungry. I want to go grab some more funeral potatoes.
Oh my God, let's do it.
We'll take a quick break, and then I'll tell you what had me spinning in my coffin.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, it's quite literal spinning staircases, Madison. This week, I am talking about escalator deaths.
Escalator deaths?
Yes, well...
Oh, fuck.
I know, it's really wild. Geoffs, do you or someone you know suffer from escalaphobia? Escalaphobia is the fear of escalators and is surprisingly common. And I feel like I've known a few people in life
That's scary.
who are uncomfortable with an escalator. According to the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation, EESF, there's another abbreviation for you, over 35,000 escalators in the United States and Canada move 245 million people per day.
Wow.
Yet, despite their frequent usage, escalators are scary for some people. The fear of escalators may be mild or severe, and the reasons behind the fear range from misunderstandings about their construction to the overall perception of moving too quickly. Any fear that is based on a legitimate medical concern or imminent threat is, by definition, not a phobia. Many apparent cases of escalaphobia can actually fall into this category. Medical vertigo, balance difficulties, a lack of depth perception, vision troubles, and sensory issues may make some people reluctant to use an escalator, and for this reason, it's always important to see a doctor to rule out any physical causes of a possible escalator phobia. But a lot of people are triggered by previous negative experiences with escalators, like if you've ever had a shoelace get caught in an escalator, if you've slipped while getting on or off, or lost your balance on the steps, maybe you missed the handrails. You might be at an increased risk for developing an escalator phobia. Or maybe it wasn't something that happened to you. Maybe you witnessed somebody fall in person or even on TV, or if a parent or close relative has the same fear, you also might be likely to develop escalaphobia, because that's how a lot of different phobias, I feel like, can be based off of not necessarily lived experiences.
Right.
And escalators are a bit of a mystery to a lot of people. It's kind of hard at first glance to see like how they actually work. And while they're for the most part safe, like any machine, it's possible for an escalator to malfunction. No activity, including riding an escalator, is entirely risk-free. However, the EESF maintains a list of safety rules that, when properly followed, minimize the potential risks. So here you go. Always face forward using the handrail. Don't touch the sides below the handrail. Supervise small children. Wear securely attached footwear, and not transporting rolling carts or strollers on escalators. Regardless, I think it's safe to have some reservations about escalators after I looked into escalator deaths. So this was actually prompted by a recent trip we took to the airport, Madison. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell them what happened on the escalator? I think it was in Denver, I believe, I want to say.
Is this
Were you following
me?
were you following the protocols?
No. I had 2 big ass pieces of luggage.
Uh-huh.
And I was going up the escalator. Everyone does at the airport. And it slipped and rolled all the way down the escalator to the bottom. Someone from TSA had to bring it back up to me. Lost it.
Oh, God.
And there's nothing you could, but you know what I did? I did follow the protocols because I was like, I'm not running down after it.
Oh, thank God. When I heard the noise
It was like slow motion.
Of something falling, I had like a 0.01 second where I was like, God damn it, did Madison just fall down the escalator? Because I was ahead of you. I was like, we have a show. Like, we've got stuff to do. Like, this can't be the case right now. And so when I looked back, your luggage was still rolling. You were like almost at the top. And then there was that handsome TSA guy who grabbed it. And he was just looking at you like, yeah.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
He's like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Only you, I swear. But according to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, did you know that escalators were originally designed as an amusement park ride?
What?
According to ThoughtCo, the first patent related to an escalator-like machine was granted in 1859 to a Massachusetts man for a steam-driven unit. On March 15th of 1892, Jesse Reno patented his moving stairs, or inclined elevator as he called it. In 1895, Reno created a novelty ride at Coney Island in New York from his patented design, a moving stairway that elevated passengers on a conveyor belt at a 25-degree angle. It's so crazy to think like, that's the ride.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Oh, God. The escalator as we know it now was redesigned in 1897 by this guy, Charles Seeberger, and he created the name escalator from scala, the Latin word for steps, and elevator, a word for something that had already been invented at the time. Seeberger partnered with the Otis Elevator Company to produce the first commercial escalator in 1899 at the Otis factory in Yonkers, New York. A year later, the Seeberger-Otis wooden escalator won first prize at the 1900 Paris Exposition, a World's Fair held in Paris, France. Which is also like just crazy side note. I know from Cult Leader, like the World Fair used to be the fucking place to showcase any and everything.
Spot, yes.
I feel like we could do a whole fucking show about the World Fairs.
We totally could.
Okay, so meanwhile, the success of Reno's Coney Island ride briefly made him the top escalator designer. He started the Reno Electric Stairways and Conveyors Company in 1902. Seeberger sold his escalator patent rights in 1910 to Otis Elevator, which bought Reno's patent a year later. Otis went on to dominate escalator production by combining and improving the various designs. According to the company, in the 1920s, Otis engineers, led by David Lindquist, combined and improved Jesse Reno and Charles Seeberger's escalator designs and created the cleated level steps of the modern escalator in use today. Although Otis continued to dominate the escalator business, the company lost the product's trademark in 1950 when the U.S. Patent Office ruled that the escalator had become a common term for moving stairways. The word lost its proprietary status and its capital, E. The more you know. But I was like, well, it is kind of fucked up. Like, imagine being like, oh, we fucking built this shit up. We gave this a name. And then it's like, yeah, but now everybody uses it. So it's fair use. That's kind of crazy, right? I think that's bizarre. But I was reading, shit, what was it? I don't know if I was reading or listening to something and they were talking about all the different items that are actually brand names. So like
Kleenex,
Band-Aids, chapstick, the Xerox, Scotch tape.
That have become like a noun.
Tasers are a brand name.
Oh.
The jacuzzi, bubble wrap is a brand name.
Yes.
onesies, the crock pot,
Wow.
Zambonis were on one of the lists that I saw because it was named after the inventor, Frank Zamboni, but they're not all necessarily his.
Right, right.
It's just wild.
Yeah.
So back to escalators. Incidents involving escalators and elevators kill about 30 and seriously injure about 17,000 people each year in the United States, according to data provided to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So 30 deaths a year from escalators and 17,000 injuries. Elevators cause almost 90% of the deaths and 60% of the serious injuries. Injuries to people working on or near elevators, including those installing, repairing, and maintaining elevators and working in or near elevator shafts, account for 14, almost half of the annual deaths.
Oh, fuck. But an escalator is scarier looking.
It is. And I have some horrible escalator-related deaths from a Ranker article by Christopher Schultz from 2018 that I wanted to share.
Wonderful.
It says, you might be asking, how does an escalator kill you, or how do you die on an escalator? Well, these 10 stories of escalator-related deaths will answer both and make you better appreciate elevators or even good old-fashioned stairs. Love a stair. Okay, this first one was horrible. It says, mother saves son, but perishes in escalator malfunction.
Wait, I feel like I've heard this one.
Probably. This was in June of 2015. Zhang Lujan noticed that a plate at the top of an escalator was missing in a department store in China. She managed to push her son to safety, but sadly fell through the hole and underneath the escalator, crushing her to death.
Oh, God.
Investigators determined the department store was at fault for the incident as they provided no warning at the bottom of the escalator that the unit was broken. They also point to the fact that the escalator should have been shut down and roped off as soon as the missing panel was discovered, which I feel like I always see escalators out of service.
Yes.
Or like every other airport we went to lately, I feel like at least one escalator was out of service.
And those like treadmill things at the...
Yes.
They're always out of service.
The moving walkways. Well, there was another incident only a few months after that woman saved her son, but not herself, from the broken escalator. In October of 2015, another little boy in China was caught between the escalator steps and the handrail at a metro station, dragging him into the mechanism.
Fuck.
Horrible. There's another incident also in China. On the morning of January 10th, 2016, at a shopping mall, a 3-year-old named Jimei fell from the rail of a 4th-floor escalator while playing unsupervised. Her grandmother, who owned a booth at the shopping center, was present at the time, but had not been watching Jimei as she fell, which is fucking devastating.
That the grandma feels, I'm sure.
God. Well, we've got a few U.S. ones on the list as well. There's a man from Charlotte, North Carolina, who died inside the Harrah's Casino in New Orleans, Louisiana on April 7th of 2016 after attempting to slide down the handrail of an escalator.
Oh, come on.
The man, James Edward Darst, was in town for a conference. No word whether he was intoxicated at the time he attempted to slide down the rail. But, I mean, even though that was obviously a really stupid fucking idea,
right,
it's
still terrible.
Devastating.
It's not Bart Simpson.
No.
Can't do it.
This one terrified me because it's like a freak accident. It says a Seattle man died in a bus terminal in April of 2013 when his shirt became entangled in the mechanism towards the bottom of the unit. As an open bottle of brandy was found on his person, and the CCTV footage showed the man to be moving slowly just prior to boarding the escalator, it was theorized he might have been intoxicated prior to the incident. It appeared that the man lost his balance, causing his shirt to get lodged in the escalator's motors. And then the last one I wanted to share is another freak accident. A 48-year-old woman died in a Montreal metro station escalator in January of 2014. The woman's scarf had been snagged by the escalator's teeth. When she bent over to try and untangle her scarf, her hair got clamped into the mechanism. And unfortunately, her scarf then ended up cinching around her neck and strangled her to death.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I do have one more that I wanted to share. The rest of them, I'll link the article, obviously, in our sources as always. But a woman died on a New York telephone company escalator while on her way to work in September of 1987. The escalator in question had apparently received numerous complaints in the weeks leading up to the woman's death. And in 1982, 13 people were injured in an accident involving the unit. Apparently, as the woman rode up the escalator, the steps she was standing on collapsed below her feet, sucking her into the mechanism below.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe I have fucking escalaphobia now.
Seriously.
I'm going to be thinking about the step falling underneath me every single time I ride an escalator. So sorry to any of you G-offs who use them on a regular basis, because I probably just gave you a new fear that you didn't fucking need.
Yeah.
But
wow.
yeah.
I mean, you can't beat the escalator. That thing is massive.
Oh my God. Fucking terrifying. But you know what? You gotta live, babe.
You gotta live and you gotta die also. So,
Yep.
you
gotta,
know what?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Life's gonna get you one way or another.
Terrible.
Horrible. Well, on that note, we're gonna take a quick break.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Anytime. And we're gonna go practice our gratitude for stairs. We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we've talked so much about cremation on this show. I now know exactly what a retort is, whether or not people get cremated naked. I know what happens to the metal in our body, like a fake hip.
We've gone through it all.
Oh my God, what happens to breast implants and the retort? Thanks to you, Spencer, we now know about water cremation and meaningful ways to make use of our loved ones' ashes. But we've also been talking a lot lately about firsts. The first casket makers and funeral homes, first iron caskets, first hospice centers, a ton of firsts, right?
And I love the first.
Oh, you'll always remember the first.
Nothing like the first time, baby.
Today I thought I'd combine those two and decided to take a look at the United States' first modern cremation.
Wow, I love this so much.
Yes.
Okay, so the first ever cremation in this here United States of America.
Oh yeah, honey.
Well, God bless America.
Okay.
And God bless you for this coffin spinner.
Oh yeah. So obviously cremation isn't anything new. I mean, so many people burned their loved ones.
Yeah, you know what they did?
They did.
Okay.
On funeral pyres and have done some sort of cremation, right?
Some even threw themselves onto the funeral pyres.
Oh, yes, exactly.
What was that?
Sati.
Oh my God, I'll never forget.
I know. Traditional burials have always kind of been the primary way to lay your loved ones to rest, though. And I know, Spencer, you've covered cremation benefits, and I know that's what you want to do when you die, so I won't go over that here.
Well, at least half of me.
At least half of you, yes. But cremation has now surpassed traditional burials as an option for the dead in the United States. I believe it's a little over 50%, up to 60% of Americans who choose cremation. And then in the next few years, it's believed to be about 70%.
Yes.
But back in the early 18th and 19th centuries, cremation was looked at as too new agey, it was unconventional, extreme, and too pagan.
So modern.
So keep that in mind while I get into this story, but there are a few different players in this story, so we'll start with Dr. Francis Julius Lemoyne. He was born in 1798 in Washington, Pennsylvania, and he was a doctor, he was an abolitionist, he was a member of the American Anti-Slavery Society, and he was a philanthropist. He was also a husband and a father of 8 children. During his years practicing as a medical doctor, he saw so many people in his community getting sick, and they all had very similar illnesses. And this was a time in the 1800s when cities were becoming more crowded, which meant more deaths and more burials. This is sort of where I kind of want to piggyback off of my coffin spinner a few episodes ago about iron caskets. We went over how iron caskets were a great and safe way to bury the dead when cemeteries were overcrowded and weren't just in churchyards, but everywhere, because they were sealed so well that any smells and or bacteria couldn't get out of them and couldn't contaminate the surrounding areas.
Right. So does that kind of tie into, is that why they started cremating people in the beginning?
As a public health thing.
Oh, no shit. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
So, yes. So Francis Lemoyne believed that all of the sickness that he was seeing in his patients was due to public burials. He wholeheartedly believed in this theory called the miasma theory. And this theory basically said...
Miasma, it's acting up.
Miasma's acting up. It basically said that miasmas were these poisonous airborne vapors that came from rotting things like vegetation and carcasses. And these things would get out into the air and then caused most of the disease that was happening.
I'm so fucking fascinated by this.
Yes, it's crazy. For those who believed in this theory, which has been debunked, miasmas were the cause for malaria, cholera, and even tuberculosis, just to name a few. Dr. Francis thought this bacteria that was emitting from people buried was getting into the water supply and making everybody sick.
I mean, you can see like they're basing their theory on science, which is like there's probable cause to believe this.
Right.
I mean, I feel like so much of the past history, when we talk about like, especially like old theories and stuff like this, you can clearly see how they went from A to B with this one.
Totally. And I mean, not to be crude, but like if you see a rotting corpse, it's disgusting.
Yes, and that's why we at Obituary are speaking out against them.
Yeah, we are against rot, okay?
Yes.
But it does look like that could probably be toxic.
That's gonna get me itchy.
It's gonna get me sick, okay? But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get how they could
Sometimes
totally...
you just see a person and you're like,
Yeah.
you look like you're gonna get me sick, honey.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
I know.
We've seen a lot of airport scenarios.
It's very true. So Dr. Francis thought this, and he was also at the time studying cremation and seeing that in Europe, they were making more advances in creating modern retorts. So he decided that he would build a crematory in town. He went to local cemeteries and talked about this public health concern, even offering to fund it all by himself. Just he wanted their land, but they still didn't see it that way. They were like not interested in it. And then he went to the trustees of the public cemeteries in the city of Washington, and they didn't see the vision either. So he didn't stop there though. Francis decided that if no cemeteries would let him build a crematory on their land, then he would take matters into his own hands and build one on his own land. He built this crematory on a hill at the edge of his property, and the hill was known as Gallows Hill because they had previously had executions done on it. The Lemoyne Crematory was built and finished in 1876, and it closed in 1901, but the building that he built was a 20 by 30 one-story red brick building, and it still sits there today in great condition, and it's part of the National Register of Historic Places and is a destination historic public landmark. I truly wish that we could have gone when we were in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
From the Washington County Historical Society website, they say, quote, it cost $1,500. The simple 30 by 20 foot brick building is in remarkable condition 123 years later, has a reception room and a furnace room. Using only sketchy information about how one of the world's first crematories was built in Europe, Washington resident John Dye planned and constructed the crematory building, and Dr. Lemoyne himself designed the oven. Flames would never touch the bodies being cremated. So he built this kind of modern crematory on his own land.
I love that.
I know. He was like about it.
He was like, this is the future. The future is now. We're doing it. I'm unveiling the iPhone 1 next week. We've got virtual reality, crematorium. It's of the time.
It is. It is of the time. To test the effectiveness, he cremated 2 sheep. But what human was going to be cremated there? People didn't want to be cremated, right? Again, the thought of cremation was not on most people's radar. So how was Dr. Francis going to get any customers?
Doesn't make sense.
But that same year, he did get his first customer. The corpse in question is a man named Baron Joseph Henry Louis Charles de Palm. Now, he was an Austrian immigrant who was afraid of burials because he had known a woman who was buried alive. You
know what? The recent news is really going to make hopefully a lot of people reconsider.
I know, God, seriously. He was also part of the Theosophical Society, and I looked into this and was like, what what is this? And they're kind of like loosely linked with Freemasonry.
Okay.
The co-founder of the Theosophical Society, Henry Alcott, was also a Freemason, and he converted to Buddhism, and he was part of the New York Cremation Society, and he knew Baron Joseph Henry. The Baron left him his estate when he died and made him the executor. Baron died on May 20th, 1876 of nephritis, which I looked up to, which is like inflammation of the kidneys. In his will, he wanted to be cremated and he wanted to have a theosophical funeral. And his funeral was held at a big Masonic temple in New York. And his body wasn't sent to Dr. Francis Lemoyne's crematory until 6 months later.
Oh my God.
His body was preserved with potter's clay and phenol. On December 6, 1876, it was time to cremate the Baron, and he was at the crematory in Pennsylvania. And it was an absolute fucking spectacle.
Oh,
it was the first cremation in America. So crowds,
Well, first of all,
formed.
potter's clay.
Bizarre.
Bizarre, but we've heard weirder.
Yeah, it doesn't even faze me anymore. Crowds formed around the crematory. Reporters, news outlets, everyone showed up to see it, and they let people see it. I have a vivid excerpt from Pete the Bone Idol blog spot that describes the whole
you found
process.
my blog.
I found your blog. This blog spot quotes this book, Purified by Fire, where they explain the whole spectacle. So it says, quote, after Mr. Wolf, the fireman, who had started feeding the furnace with Coke at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Coke?
Coke is like a...
Honey, I know I'm drinking that one right now.
It's some form of coal.
Okay,
Or like
okay.
something in the coal family. So the fireman was feeding the retort, getting it ready at 2 a.m.
Shit.
And then he declared the machinery ready, and the guests took one last look at the body. Someone pulled the sheet down a bit, exposing a face with a horribly pained countenance. After this final grotesque viewing, Alcott, Lemoyne, and 2 other men appointed to usher the body into the furnace, they took their hats off as if it were a signal that whatever reverence might be mustered should be expended forthwith. Members of the impromptu congregation dutifully removed their bowlers. Then the body was lifted and solemnly borne across the threshold of the 2-room crematory into the furnace room, and cremation's rites of passage to America was underway. Alcott, in his capacity as high priest, soaked the white sheet covering the corpse with water saturated in alum in an effort to prevent both the body's immediate blazing and any further public display of the Baron's nakedness. In a nod to the Asian origins of cremation and the Theosophist's love of Mother India, someone placed a simple clay urn, the present of a friend in the East, atop the furnace. Alcott then sprinkled the body with spices, including cinnamon, cloves, frankincense. According to one confused reporter, the Theosophist was following the Egyptian ceremonials with a touch of the Indian, Greek, and Roman customs. But he was also bequeathing to the occasion a vaguely Christian air, playing the wise men bringing spices from the East. Finally, Alcott placed on the corpse a collection of roses, primroses, and palms, as well as evergreens as a symbol, he announced, of the immortality of the soul. Recalling perhaps the Christian tradition of burying lay people with their heads to the west so they could look to the east for the second coming, Alcott and Lemoyne debated whether it was more auspicious to place the body into the furnace head first or feet first. The firemen and the crematory's builder then joined the procession, forming with 6 pallbearers as in traditional burial. At approximately 8:30 a.m., they slid the Baron's body into the retort head first. There was a momentary sizzle and a bit of smoke, but soon the door was cemented shut and the furnace made airtight. The evergreens and the hair around the head caught on fire, and the flames formed, according to the Times reporter, a crown of glory for the dead man. At first, witnesses were repelled by the smell of burning flesh, but soon the sweeter aromas of flowers and spices banished foul odors from the room. Witnesses who peered through a peephole in the side of the furnace noticed that the flowers were almost miraculously reduced to ash without losing their individual form. About an hour into the proceedings, a rose-colored mist enveloped the body. Later, the mist turned to gold. Meanwhile, the corpse became red hot and then transparent and luminous.
Whoa.
All these effects lent to the retort the appearance of a radiant solar disk of a very warm color. After some time, yet another intimation of immortality pressed itself on the witnesses. The palm bows, which I think is the person's arm, so the Baron's arm, stood up
Oh, no.
as naturally as they were living portions of a tree.
Doing the wave and the...
Then the left hand of the Baron rose up and 3 of his fingers pointed skyward.
Oh.
The scientist present later attributed this incident to involuntary muscular contractions, but others saw it in something of a spiritual phenomenon.
I like that.
I know. The main event concluded officially at 11:12 a.m. when Dr. Folsom, Secretary of the Massachusetts Board of Health, formally announced the incineration complete. All that remained of the body had fallen lifelessly to the bottom of the retort, but the ashes of a few sprigs of evergreen remained, seemingly suspended in air above the iron cradle.
Wow. If I was an artist, I would, back then especially, I would have been like painting this. Like,
Yes.
and I would have called it like the first cremation.
Yes.
Somebody paint that. They'd give us the money from it.
Call it Ashes to Ashes.
Ooh,
Ooh.
dust, baby.
Quickly, Dr. Francis Lemoyne, who's responsible for all of this, died in 1879 of a heart attack. He was the 3rd cremation to ever happen at the Lemoyne Crematory, and his remains are buried in front in a little urn of the crematory with a tombstone. And the Lemoyne Crematory conducted 41 cremations in its operating years.
Wow. Thank you for your forefronting work, sir.
I know. There's more to this story. There might be a part 2 because the crematory closed in 1901, but not everyone knew that. So bodies were still being sent there. So
that sounds like a little scandal episode to me.
it's not a scandal, but I think it adds to more crematories popping up.
Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing more in the future because
Yeah.
I fucking love learning about cremation.
I'm getting into, I love like a story.
Oh, I love a story, but I also just love knowing what happens. And I've always really liked history. So I really think the thing I love the most on the show is just learning about the way people used to think. And I'm so fascinated by that concept even now. I'm like, we think we're so intelligent now and we make all these advances, but I'm like, yeah, but in 100 years from now, statistically, they're going to look back and be like, oh, they, of course they thought this because X, Y, Z.
Absolutely. And I think that
What's that called? What's that philosophy called?
I don't know, but I think that we look at, I even take the funeral industry, like it feels like there's big companies that run everything, right? And then you look back at history and you're like, fuck, it started with such like a do-it-yourself spirit, like this guy, or like the cabinet makers that then had a funeral home that you talked about. People really just fucking did it.
Incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I've got a real innovator myself this week for my obituary, and I just changed it as we sat down to record because people started sending it, and I was like, okay. So I haven't even read this one through, but I saw it pop up in our DMs a bunch of times right when we were sitting down, and I was like, it's got to be good. So this is a surprise to both of us this week.
Okay.
but his name is James Lovelace.
Ooh, love the name.
Love the name. March 11th, 1963 to June 14th, 2023. Born and raised in Kentucky in 1963, a state that has been recently leaning toward more liberal values, we might add Jamie, a divorcee, father, grandfather, and proud owner of a few lots in the trailer park, had enough and up and died on us on June 13th in order to avoid another presidential stolen election mishap in the near future.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Let's see where this is going.
Okay.
As a gluttonous eater of fried foods and snack cakes, as well as the occasional chili cheese dog, James tried in vain to give up the ghost by clogging his arteries and having a stroke in 2015. There's that phrase, give up the ghost.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. His twin boys, Rocky and Rodney, had other plans and made him go to the hospital. While waiting in the ER at the hospital, he was heard saying, "Let's make a break for it," only to be heard by one of the hospital staff and forced to go through the procedure. He wasn't too excited about the prospects, but went anyway. On many occasions in life, James was seen in his backyard at the trailer park during the early hours of the morning, hammering beers, standing over country-style ribs, and yelling, "It's got a head like a cat on it," while nearby neighbors would peek out their windows, bearing looks of disgust and amazement. As his party guests were slurring remarks about needing to speed up his cooking style. "We've been here since 5 o'clock, they would say. "I've got work in the morning." We don't know if he was married, but he was definitely a ladies' man. There was Kathy, Mary Lou, Tammy, Deborah, Carrie, Tina, etc., etc.
Oh, my God.
"It's the bones," he told us proudly as he pointed to his skinny, pasty white legs. "Women love a good shin." Is this? He might even have some females waiting for him on the other side. Jamie loved his family more than anything else in the world, except ice-cold bush, non-temperature bush, T-bones, New York strip, prime rib, shrimp, swimming, poker, hatchback Mustang GTs, tank tops, Kentucky men's basketball, and his personal copy of Eddie Murphy's Raw. He leaves behind his second favorite son, Rocky Lovelace of Arizona City, Arizona, his favorite son, Rodney Lovelace, a younger brother, Joey, and unofficial daughter, Melissa Vance of the trailer park, as well as a pair of old boxers, which have Budweiser's The King of Rears printed on the design. He will be moderately missed. Pulaski Funeral Home is honored to assist the family with arrangements.
Oh, my God. That was good.
That's a good one.
That was a wild ride.
It really
Alrighty.
was. Sounds like he was a wild ride.
He does. And you know what? This next guy sounds like he was a wild ride also. And we were sent this by a Geoff, and they said, "I love y'all so much. I've been a fan since day one. Never found something worthy of sending until today. If you don't read it on the podcast, at least look at the picture because it will make you laugh until you cry. Keep up the amazing work. You'll have helped me heal from the sudden death of my mom in so many ways."
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I can never thank you enough. All right, get ready for this. I'll show you the picture first. This is for Ron, and he just passed like a month ago.
Oh my God, on the hog. I love it.
On the hog. On May 5th, 2023, Ron DeLuca, a.k.a. Ronaldus, Ronnie Blue Eyes, Ron DMC, Ugg, The King, Hagrid 2.0, Gimli 2.0, Old Sausage Fingers, Dad, Daddy, No, etc., left this earth and ascended into the big bowl of spaghetti and meatballs in the sky as his watch has ended. Ron was an architect, a master welder, stained glass creator, teacher, and all-around fantastical human being. Aww. He built and crafted whatever was in his mind, put it to paper, and brought it to life. He was a spinner of tales, an expert storyteller. So naturally, Ron constructed a life for himself that rivaled the stuff of legends. Ron was born in New York City in 1951 to Jerry and Paula DeLuca. He was the only child in a New York Italian family and spoiled to the ends of the earth as Italian parents do. It was during his teenage years that the legend of Ron began to be written. He once shimmied along the third-story ledge of a Manhattan building to steal a Christmas tree, just to entertain his high school classmates. during a nor'easter snowstorm. He was a member of the New York City Teamsters, held an official butcher's license, and was in a friendly and mostly harmless neighborhood gang in New York with his father.
Okay.
A small scar on the palm of his right hand was a souvenir from a knife fight with a rival gang. He went on a date with the daughter of a prominent mafia member while in high school, and allegedly another car opened fire on the car Ron and his date were in. Riddled with bullets was the phrase he used, and there was no word on if there was a second date.
Oh, God.
During a trip to Ireland with his friend Crazy George in the 1960s, Ron encountered a leprechaun, a ginger-haired, gold-flipping leprechaun, who gave them directions when they were lost. Leprechauns are tricksters by nature, of course, so understandably, Ron and his friend ended right back at the same bridge, only to encounter that shifty leprechaun again, and only to take his directions to heart a second time and get unlost. Again, no word on how many pints of Guinness or Lucky Charms were consumed prior to this encounter. Other classic Ron tales included missing being accepted to MIT by one point, narrowly missing becoming best friends with Robin Williams and Christopher Reeve at Juilliard, inventing the double quarter pounder with cheese, descending from the Martinelli gold medal sparkling cider family line, being a member of Hell's Angels despite not knowing how to proficiently ride a motorcycle, allegedly ripping his pants off in front of 500,000 people, being fluent in French, and almost getting his license to fly Black Hawk helicopters. These are but a fraction of the fantastical stories of Ron DeLuca. When he'd tell any story, he'd left you entranced with his booming voice, his animated facial expressions and hand gestures, and unwavering commitment to his truth. And while many of the stories above are questionably true, here are some things that definitely are. He went to Woodstock. He thought he had a great singing voice, but didn't. He was the king of the medieval fair. He was an Eagle Scout. He thought he could sell a shoebox full of rose rocks to fund an entire family vacation. He found out, in fact, he could not. He designed and built his own house with his own hands. He traveled to over 30 countries. He wore a toupee for several years. He was a ballroom dancer.
Love it.
He was accepting of everyone, no matter the color of their skin, gender, or beliefs.
Aw.
He loved people because they were different. The bottom of his feet were thicker than rhinoceros skin, making it impossible for him to feel a tickle. Kids often confused him with Santa. Adults often confused him with Mitt Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac. He enjoyed leather work. He saved a lot of crumbs in his beard for later. He loved playing cards. He couldn't hold up the number 3 with his fingers. Oh, not like the Baron.
Oh, my God. Nothing on the Baron.
He was proud of his kids. He truly was the most interesting man in the world. Ron is survived by his son, who mirrors his father more than he's willing to admit, his daughter, who was obviously his favorite child, his daughter-in-law, who has and does graciously put up with all of the DeLuca men, his granddaughter, who was the most precious gift to him, his grandson, who will carry on the DeLuca name and personality of his grandfather. He is also survived by a collection of friends and family who laughed with him, at him, and loved him dearly. Oh, and hundreds of scorpions, snakes, mice, frogs, wasps, and other creatures that he allowed to freely cohabitate with him. To properly honor such an extraordinary life, please sign this petition to make his birthday, January 22nd, National Ronaldus Day.
Aw, we love it.
Oh, a celebration of Ron will be held at Legends Restaurant in Norman, Oklahoma. If you have stories about Ron, please bring them. If you want to wear a suit or something fancy, that's fine. Just know he'd probably make fun of you for it.
I love it. 2 really fucking wild ones.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Sweet guys.
Well,
we
have spun in our coffins, honey. Boy, have we spun.
We have spun and we have bitched our obituaries.
Oh, yeah. Always doing that every single Thursday. And it never gets old.
Never.
I fucking love it. So I guess that means it must be time for, what's that? What's that third what's that thing? Oh, it's time for some dumb
Ass
criminals. And I got one from InsideTheMagic.net, which I think is a theme park website. really credible sources. But it's a wild story, and I wanted to read it. It's about a woman who was arrested for exposing herself at Universal Orlando.
Oh, I love it.
Uh-huh. We love a little voyeuristic tendency. It says, when visiting a theme park, the last thing you'd expect to see is an arrest, which I don't know how many theme parks you've been to, but I've been over there to the...
Honey, I have seen it all.
What's that? Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're going to see something there.
Yep.
Unfortunately, sometimes guests can become disorderly, resulting in swift action by either local police or park security. However, one incident came as a shock for more than one reason to a guest who witnessed it unfold.
Ooh.
We've got the story at night. That's how I feel right now. The incident occurred at the resort on October 5th of 2022. According to a recently released Orlando Police Department report, Universal Orlando security escorted the intoxicated woman from Hard Rock Live Orlando to the parking garage. The woman was reportedly acting disorderly most of the night. Security escorted the woman to the parking garage in an effort to have her leave in a taxi or Uber. Prior to arriving at the parking garage, the woman took off her bra, exposing her breast to guests in the park. When Orlando police arrived, the woman was covering her breast with a cowboy hat.
Yes.
University of Orlando. Where'd your sister go when she left our show?
I know.
Where was she with her cowboy hat? University of Orlando had already informed the guests she needed to leave, but due to her intoxication level, she was unable to use her Uber app correctly.
Oh, no.
We've all been there.
We have, honey.
In the past, we have seen multiple incidents occur due to guests getting too intoxicated. Some recent examples include a fight between guests at Disneyland's Club 33, as well as a drunk driver at Six Flags. Universal Orlando security warned the police they would press charges if she didn't leave the property, prompting her arrest. The woman was arrested for trespassing, taken to jail, and pleaded not guilty.
Oh, God, embarrassing.
Let her live, she said.
She's at the Hard Rock. She's not in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, what do you expect? What happens at the Hard Rock is supposed to stay at the Hard Rock.
Yes. Oh,
Who
God.
you got?
Well, I also have a Florida man, and this is from the New York Post.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, Lord. An evil Florida man burglarized 10 homes, purposely targeting his grieving victims and striking when he knew they were attending funerals.
Oh, God, the worst kind of dumbass.
The worst kind. Ronald Lee Rose, 42, is facing multiple counts of armed burglary and grand theft in a series of home heists between October and February 8th. Rose allegedly researched his targets, hitting up homes either owned by a recently deceased person or one of their relatives. He was very respectful. He would make small cuts or jimmy the door. He would go in, he would steal guns, he stole jewelry, but everything he did was in a respectful manner. Sheriff Grady Judd said Rose took the precautions to make it appear as if the personal items may have been taken by a mourning relative who wanted something special to remember them. Are you fucking kidding me?
What a dick.
He looked at obituaries, he researched out the address,
Uh-huh.
and he went to their homes while they were at the funeral.
That's how it goes.
A detective investigating one of the burglaries learned of at least 9 other similar incidents in which victims were targeted as they attended funerals that had public notices in obituaries. In addition to guns and jewelry, Rose allegedly stole coins and silver during the burglaries. He was arrested Monday and confessed to one of the incidents. A subsequent search of Rose's home allegedly revealed additional stolen property that had been connected to the thefts. Some of the items found had not been reported stolen by the known 10 victims. This is a sorry human being, the sheriff said. Anyone that would break into someone's home while they were at a funeral of a loved one needs to be under prison. At the end of the day, understand there are evil people in the world, and this is one of them.
Oh my God. Lock him up and throw away the key. That's what I say.
Look at him.
Oh, we got a picture.
We've got a picture.
Is that what is that?
It's like a genie.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
I know.
Worst
Fucker.
kind.
Worst kind. I know we've covered stories like that before, but every time one pops up,
We gotta talk about it.
we gotta talk about
We gotta
it.
spread their name as far and wide as we can on this show.
Exactly.
We don't have any P.O. Box stuff this week because
We were cooking up a
we
storm.
were cooking up a storm. Madison came over early today so that we could make potatoes. So again, if you want to see that, it's on our Patreon. And then we'll make sure to pop by the P.O. Box next week.
Yes, and while we do that, you guys make sure to pop by August 17th at the Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, California, okay?
If you need tickets, go ahead on over to obituarypodcast.com.
Oh, you can also go there to book a cameo. You can see events, live events coming up. Maybe we'll add more. Who knows?
Who knows?
But that is where we're going to leave it for this week. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week with some more coffin spinners
Obituaries
and dumb
as
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.